right. Well, Megan, it's a pleasure to meet you. I am a big fan of The Good Place, and I've loved what I've seen of this show so far. So, congrats. And like I said, pleasure to talk to you. But I guess first off, I just wanted to know, if you could talk a little bit about the challenges of taking two characters like Bumper, Peter, who are supporting roles in the films and kind of broad characters in those movies, and maybe softening those edges, making them more relatable in this.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the challenge and the exciting part of this spin-off show is that not just were Bumper and Peter, supporting characters, they were villains in the first couple.
Yeah.
And so it was a fun game to see, with the almost 10 years that have passed since we last saw them, how do you make it feel real and grounded that they have become now people that you root for? And for Bumper, I think he's had some, disappointments, and he's dropped back down to earth after he didn't become a rock star. And for Peter, he had, some embarrassments, and they're both just like trying to rebuild their lives.
And these are the two characters that are coming back from the previous films. Were you tempted to try and work in cameos from other people, or did you know we're shooting in Berlin, we probably won't get them here, and this is what we're working with, and we're happy to do it?
For this season 1, I thought it was important to not rely too heavily on cameos. So we didn't try to get more cameos because I thought it was very important to establish these characters as having their own lives, their own friends and romantic lives outside of it. But we did try to pepper in the show with like little Easter eggs and just references to characters, so it didn't feel completely off on an island away from these.
Yeah. And I think some viewers might be surprised about Sarah's voice. I know I've seen her like at a show at the Rockwell before. I know she can sing, but I think it's going to surprise some people. Just what was it like working with her and kind of giving her a spotlight to really have her voice come through?
I mean, that makes me so excited too, because I think a lot of people know her from things like Modern Family, where she's super funny. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But she is a Broadway singer. And I also, every time I heard her sing, even if it was like between shots on set, I felt as if I was getting a free concert from like the most beautiful singer I've ever heard. So I think that this should be hugely exciting for people who don't know that about her.
And for you, when it does come to the songs and writing to them, writing around them, were there ones you were hoping to get that maybe you weren't able to? And on the flip side, something maybe you didn't think you were going to get cleared, but you did, thankfully.
I will say, not to brag, we got the rights to every single song that we wanted to get, which I have to attribute that to the power of the Pitch Perfect franchise.
Yeah.
Because I think like it seems as if a lot of musicians are just really excited to be involved in this franchise that they might be fans of already. The song that apparently I have heard is hard to get rights to is Sweet Child of Mine, but we did get them for Flula and Adam to sing in a dumpster together. And I was so excited because I was like, there's no other song for that. I feel very confident that that was the right song for the moment.
And how was it just being in Berlin and kind of immersing yourself in that? And, if we do get a season 2, where would you like to maybe take the gang going forward?
I am obsessed with Berlin, and not like in a cute, like Hollywood people always talk about being obsessed with stuff, probably in like a creepy, like I won't stop talking about Berlin and Europe since getting back to Los Angeles. There were so many things about it that I connected with. I think the German people get a stereotype sometimes for not having a sense of humor. They're incredibly funny. They're just very dry and witty. But when our wonderful crew would laugh at things on set, I'd always be like, yes, I got the Germans to laugh. This is amazing. But yeah, it's just, living in LA where there's no seasons and it's just like palm trees everywhere. I loved being in Berlin where it was cold and then beautiful and warm, and I loved like the brutalist architecture. I'm all on board.
And have you started kind of thinking where we could take them next, or
There was
if given the chance?
a lot of jokes on set during the dead of winter when we shot some of this that it should be Bumper and Bali next year.
I like that.
Told people. I think that there's still a lot for them to explore in Europe, but also something that's amazing about this spinoff is that his life is now taking him in a lot of weird directions. So like it could be anywhere.
Well, I can't wait to see where he ends up next. Thank you so much for your time today. Have a great one.